Good evening and welcome to another night of oNiD Racing. It's Thursday evening, which can only mean one thing. It's Rookies Season 3, Round 3 at Oulton Park, and as ever, I'm joined by Dave. How's it going? I was going to say drive through Dave again, but
Oh no, I've passed that on now. That's all good.
yeah, I don't want to wear it thin either as well. I have to think of something else. How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, very good, very good. How about you?
Good, good. Yeah, not so bad. But glad to be back streaming the Rookies. Had a bit
Yeah,
of practice on the old streaming recently. Had to do Sunday night as well with the main event, which was quite cool. But yeah, back to the Rookies, back to I guess what I know best. And
yeah. We saw the GT4 drivers come here on Tuesday, so be nice to now see the rookies in the GT3s going there as well.
yeah, it's going to be obviously the GT4s. We've got some seasoned drivers in there. Uh, Alton Park though, quite a difficult track in the GT3s. And as a rookie, is it one that you'd want to be going into, Dave?
Uh, it's tough. The drivers are going to have to really take care driving around other drivers because the track is just so thin. You've got to make space and you've got to be taking care when you're doing moves and stuff here. Like literally, I think there's probably only one part of the track where I'd even consider three wide. It's tight two wide throughout most of the track. So yeah, I think it's just going to be a case of people watching out for other drivers today. I think, but yeah, a tricky track for rookies. But and ACC is very notoriously bumpy here, so
Yeah,
I'm sure
definitely.
they're going to
Well,
be enjoying that.
we can see that now because what we're going to do is jump over and show you I'll say a hot-ish lap because it's one of my laps from the track guide. So let's jump over and see how that looks. Just as you come round the final corner to start the lap, down the dip and up the rise over the start finish line. Here you're looking for where the paint thins out on the left into turn one, down one gear into third, a nice tight line. This exit is going to be a case for many invalidations and possible drive-throughs in the race. You'll see here what Dave was talking about with the bumps. You can hear the car just all over the place. Using a bit of runoff there on the exit. One of the best corners on the track now coming up. A fast left-hander in the Aston. I'll drop it down to fourth. Get the power on nice and early and then into the hairpin down to second. Let the car run up a little bit and then bring it back down and get the power on. Carry as much speed as possible into the chicane. And again, you're going to see what we mean by the bumps through here. So I'll hop over the curb on the left. I tried to avoid the one on the right, but not so lucky. And then again over the one on the left. So halfway around the lap, coming down into what is called hislopes. Look for the marker board on the left, down two gears, avoid that curb on the right. And then this one here is really, really tricky. The car wants to just slide and spin and do everything with it. It shouldn't. Try not to get onto that curb because that is incredibly aggressive. And as we come up to the final couple of corners now, another one of my favourite corners, down two gears, throw it in, try and get the power on early. I was a little bit too soon on that lap. As we come down to the final corner, a difficult one to get right, but if you can do it, you can carry plenty of speed all the way round and across the line. Use the runoff to your advantage. And there we go. That is a lap of Oulton Park. Didn't feel beautiful when I was doing it. Yeah, it is a really difficult track. I quite enjoy it. It's very busy. You don't really get much time to sort of take a breath. And when you've got 20, 30 plus GT3s racing around with you, you really need to be switched on to your surroundings and what's going on. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to tonight's race. No. So obviously we're in round 3, a couple of rounds down. Championship standings, Dave. Did you want to take us through them? Oh, you're muted. Try again, Dave.
Hello? Can anyone hear me?
I think we should be all right now. It may have been me that didn't unmute after the hot lap video, so you didn't hear all of the menus and the clicking and everything.
Right, Johnny says, there I am. Yep, that's all good
lovely.
now. Sounds good.
So as we were saying, a tricky track and needing to be switched on. But fortunately, you didn't read out the championship standings. So
yes, that would have been a bit
would
of a
you like
nightmare.
to take us through them?
Yeah, so we'll go through the top 5 in Pro Silver and Am. So in Pro, at the moment, leading the way, we've got Sami Zudu on 98 points, closely followed by B. Rooney on 91 points. They're the closest 2 out of the top 5. Coming in third at the moment, we've got Alan Drake Cruz, the 9-year-old super talent. Then we've got Stevie Bain. He's on 51 points. And then we've got Arjen de Puter rounding out the top 5 on 45. So quite a big gap in points between 5th and 1st there, but a couple of wins under Sami Zudu's belt, so he's leading the way there. In silver, it's much closer at the top here, it's particularly in the top 3. We've got Richard Wolf currently in 1st with 79 points. We've then got Callum Evans in 2nd with 76 points, and then we've got Balaz Faya in 3rd with 73 points. So only 6 points between the top 3 in silver at the moment. In 4th, we've got, I'm going to say Gus Peters. It might be Goose. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, but we'll say Gus Peters. He's on 62 points in 4th, and then we've got Ryan Davies in 5th on 48 points. And then moving on to AMS. Leading the way, we've got Morten Palman Jensen. He's on 85 points. Followed by Remco Torn on 73 points, followed by Marcel Seema in 3rd on 69 points, so they're only 4 points apart. Then we've got Bartos Gora on 63 points in 4th, and then we've got Joep Kuipers in 5th on 45 points. So, yeah, there's quite a variance in points between 5th and 1st in each class, but some small, close battles going on there as the standings currently are.
Excellent. Well, we are very close to starting qualifying, so let's get ready to jump over and see how the guys get on. So as ever in qualifying, we've got 30 minutes, 10 minutes for the AMs, 10 minutes for the Silvers, and 10 minutes for the Pros. After that, they will have a 45-minute race, which does consist of, and I'm having nothing but IT issues tonight. I love computers. Never had this on a console.
Just to shout out to the people that we've got in chat so far. We've got quite a few in the chat. We've got Mr. Van der Veen himself, hello. We've got Mercy Caller, Stevie B, Ballast369. We've got oNiD Ben 22 Racing, currently watching from his holidays. We've got Johnny, obviously, on oNiD Racing. Matt Holman's in the chat. Adam on the Sim Stuff accounts in chat. Yeah, that's a bit. And we've got Steamed Bambino as well. Hello to you all.
Well, qualifying has just started, so let's jump over once I can get my computer to actually do what it's meant to do. There we go. On the track first, we have Mr. Torn in the McLaren, and straight off, I'm going to say that is going to be a really, really difficult car around this track.
Yeah, I think so. I think it struggles with the bumps here. I think it's good as far as like its cornering ability, but I think just sort of how the track is and how bumpy it is and uneven. I think and the fact that the McLaren hates curbs, and there's quite a lot of curbs that you can use here to your advantage. So whilst other people are going to be using those to their advantage, the McLarens might struggle. As you see him completely avoid that left-hand big bump there, that sausage curb, just because he knows that's going to upset the car there. So yeah. Remco is currently sat in second overall.
Just on that, just so you are aware, Dave, I've got my stream up on Discord for you now if you want to watch that.
Yeah, I realised when I mentioned about going over the sausage curb, I was about 2 seconds late.
Yeah. I thought I was going to get through these streams with no IT issues whatsoever, but unfortunately, I think when Adam decided not to commentate on rookies anymore, he took his production team with him. So I've been left on my own.
Done well so far.
We'll watch Torn start his first flying lap. Obviously, those of you into your ACC who have ACC will know that there was a new update this morning, and we have some new DLC with the American tracks. We most likely won't feature one in the rookies this season, but look out for them in season 4, and some big changes coming up as well. That's all I'm going to say on it at the moment.
Yeah, looking forward to those.
Who are you fancying for pole here in the AMS, Dave?
I think we could be watching the pole sitter.
Oh,
right
really?
now.
Okay.
Yeah, he's shown a lot of pace in the last few rounds. Don't know, he seems to, just watching what he's doing right now, he's getting around the track all right. So we'll see. It's between him and, I don't know actually, Marcel Seaman was good. Gore was good. Yeah, I think I'll go for Torn here.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? What are you thinking?
For me, I was looking at possibly Kuipers, but I have realised that he's in the Audi, which is potentially no easier than the McLaren around here. So.
Yep, true.
Could be tight. So Torn crosses the line with a 1:38.2. That puts him on provisional pole. Who else have we got on a lap at the moment? So we've got Harman Jensen coming down to the final corner, another McLaren driver. Comes up over the start-finish line and he sets a 38.5. So close between the McLaren drivers.
Yeah, just thinking about the cars that can abuse the curbs. Obviously, the McLarens are not part of that team, but we've got a BMW, a Lexus,
There's a BMW just going
Bentley
into the woods
Aston
in the background.
Oh. But yeah, we've got a few cars out there that might be able to take advantage of the curbs. But McLaren seem to be currently first and second at the moment.
Yeah, we've got Gora on a lap here in the lovely oNiD liveried Lexus. However, from what I've heard from a incredibly chipper Adam this evening, is that the Lexus is an absolute dream around Oulton Park.
Is it?
And if you haven't picked up on the sarcasm in my voice, then
try
harder next time.
I didn't quite pick up on that, but now I can believe.
I've never heard a man complain about turn 1 so much. I've never heard so many expletives to describe a corner either. So we'll definitely make sure we're watching Adam a bit in qualifying and in the race as well.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
We'll just try and keep him out of the comms box.
I know he's loving the Lexus at the moment. Turn 1 for any car here, I think, is going to be tricky, really. But although Seema makes it look like a dream there.
He does, yeah. As Torn just improves his lap time there to a 37.7, that puts half a second between him and P2 and 8 tenths between Palm and Jensen. And they are the only two at the moment who have completed a valid lap. 3, should I say, only 3. Gora is on a lap. He comes across the line with a 37.6 and takes pole by a tenth. And
lovely.
Unlike the other week, the AMs have an optimum track to do qualifying on. So
that's nice.
Fair crack of the whip, as it were, as Seema gets the chicane incredibly wrong, loses around 6 tenths of a second through there. He was up by almost a second, but someone who is up by almost a second is Palman Jensen. It's quite early into his lap. Oh, and he's got Page spun in front of him. That has cost him a couple of tenths, but he's still up by 7 tenths. Seema has decided to return to the pits. Oh no, he's gone off. We'll jump back on the page. You see his lighting up the sectors purple at the moment. He's now again 1.1 seconds up, so the track and the tyres look like they're coming to the drivers now. What sort of time do you think we'll see from the pros, Dave, when they come out?
Oh, I'm not sure. I didn't keep an eye on the practice session, but I would have thought 34s, I would say. Low 34s, maybe even some dipping into 33s, just, I don't know. Yeah, think about. Hopefully, I would say bang on 34 for a pole.
Okay. Temperatures are
That's my
quite
guess.
low, 20-25. Roman Jensen comes round the final corner. He's now 1.3 seconds up, so this is going to be a provisional pole lap by quite some margin. There he goes. And it gets taken straight off of him.
Straight away.
And as Roman Jensen decides that he's going to bang his McLaren up a little bit out of frustration. So 2 minutes 40 seconds left in qualifying.
Adam saying in chat that it was low 33s in practice, he thinks. So
By him?
Questionable. Let me have a look. Can I see the timetables? Oh yeah, I can. So it looks like Adam hit a 37 dead in practice.
So he's going to need to improve on that in qualifying. He's only 2 temps up currently on the amateur pole time. Can't use the Lexus as an excuse if Gora's getting it round there in a 37.2. So yeah, time to put up your old big boy pants, Adam, and set some laps.
He's calling you a penis in chat.
Of course he is.
But he's trying to avoid actually typing it with letters, and he's replacing all of the vowels with numbers.
Okay.
We just want to get banned by the Twitch gods.
And there you see that awful curb coming out of the right hander there. So who have we got on a lap? Seema is up by 6 temps, but we have got Gora up slightly. Is he going to improve? No, he's lost a bit of time through there. Seema is on a lap and he's just come around the first couple of corners. He's got an Audi of Kuipers in front of him. And I have a feeling he may get held up a little bit here. It's going to be very tight for him to get round in time to do one more lap. He's 3 temps up at the moment, but he is getting closer and closer to that Audi. Oh, and he jumps off the curb and loses all of the time that he'd gained. However, someone that is improving massively just ahead of him is Kuipers, 1.5 seconds up on his time. Is this going to be their final laps? They may just get across the line. I think Kuipers will. I'm not sure Seema will.
Really? Is it going to be that tight?
Seema definitely isn't, because I can hear in the background he has parked the car in the grass.
Yeah.
Kuipers is 2.3 seconds up, so this is an incredible lap coming in here. 2.4, 2.5 up. He crosses the line and he is going to go into P3.
Nice.
37.5.
Good lap that.
And he calls it a day on that one. So we now go to our silver class. I could just see there. Dan Hyde has finally managed to upload his livery correctly. And we can now see the wonderful Go for the Gap Circuit Superstars sponsored BMW M4.
Cracking game, that Circuit Superstars.
Never played it.
Have you not?
Never played it.
We
No.
played it during the last oNiD Arms. It was a great laugh. We had about 14 or 15 of us playing it. That was really good. Little Micro Machine style game.
Oh, I used to love
But quite realistic though for a Micro Machine sort of game.
I've seen there's all types of different cars. Oh, it's Dan Hyde completely misses the chicane there.
I think there's like a sort of I wouldn't say a cult following, but I think there's a lot of people that play it sort of seriously for the time trial aspects and the online play.
Oh.
Decided he doesn't want to go through those couple of corners there, but fair enough. So it is only the warm-up lap.
It is. Let's take a look at Adam D in the Lexus and see how he's getting on. So he's just behind Dan Hyde on track in the Racing Stronger liveried Lexus. Those of you who may only be hearing this for the first time, Racing Stronger, part of oNiD Racing. It was put together by Adam and Johnny, and is a sim racing community to help those with their mental health. It's basically a common ground where everyone can go, chat, and get together and have something in common. But it isn't all sim racing chat. There's plenty that goes on in there, and it is a great idea that these two have had.
Yes, great little community, ever growing in numbers. Yeah, Adam really at the forefront of trying to drive events and things for sim racers to get involved in.
Yeah, he's a big advocate of the mental health, so it's great to have really something like this to come from a community as big as oNiD is. It's just positive stuff. So we see Adam come down into the hairpin. Looks good through there. I always find with Adam that he struggles in practice, but then when qualifying and the race comes, he sort of just, his mentality changes. You see his line there through the chicane, really tidy line there.
Yep.
And you see the McLaren behind, showing you not how to do it.
Yeah. It took too much of that inside curb there.
Yeah, and that just showing you what the McLaren can do to you around here. So we're going to stick on with Adam till the end of this lap. Comes out of there nicely and avoids the death curb on the left. The Lexus here not really able to use its advantages, which is top speed. Sort of when that Lexus hits 5th gear, it keeps on going where other cars start to sort of scream enough is enough.
Yeah, totally. It's probably only really one section where it can use that, and that's it.
As he sends the bollard into the grandstands. Comes across the line with a 36.6. So an improvement on his time from practice straight away. He has 6 minutes and 15 seconds to continue to improve that. Let's take a look at our current provisional pole man, Evans. Looks like he's got a BMW, a Lamborghini in the way at the moment, so he's backed out of that lap. Who is improving? Let's take a look at Dan Hyde. Dan Hyde is currently 3 temps up on this lap. I do like that livery.
Yeah, I do as well, yeah.
Really suits the M4.
Really nice. Yeah, totally.
And takes it very easy through the chicane. Loses a little bit of time, but nothing to worry about. This is a really difficult corner they're coming down to now, because the curb on the inside of the right here it doesn't look overly aggressive, but if you hit it too hard, you just flick the car around.
Yeah, totally. Just watching Adam behind, he's done exactly that. He's not span it, but you know, just end up losing quite a lot of time.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of people showing green at the moment. We've got Hyde up, Davies up, DeVoid up, and Faher all up on their times at the moment. Looks like Adam may be taking a rest lap, and he's then going to refocus, or he may be coming back into the pits now, actually. Yep, there he goes.
Maybe some minor tweaks to the setup, maybe time pressures or...
A bit scribbly at the final corner, but he comes across the line and moves up to P4 in silver.
Solid lap there.
35.6.
Interesting to see every silver. Well, I say every silver. Obviously, Lezeski's still out. Oh no, just as I say that, he crosses the line. Yeah, all of them, other than Lewin, are straight ahead of the AMs.
Well, one
we did,
person
unfortunately.
Go on, Dave.
Oh, sorry, go on. I was going to say we had one AM that didn't manage to set a lap, Van der Molen. We had Stevie B in the chat on Twitch saying, I wonder how many won't actually set a valid lap, because, like we were saying earlier, this is quite a difficult track for track limits. So yeah, thankfully everyone in silver's set a lap so far. I'm expecting Lewin to improve. It's currently 3.6 seconds off pole, so we'd expect that to come down.
Ryan Davies does improve. Let's take a look at DeVoid. The one thing I was going to say about Davies is he's going to be feeling quite happy with the Aston after the latest update. The Aston's been given a little bit of a buff. It's got a higher RPM rate now, so that sluggish, awful feeling out of the corners may just have gone, and that will really help around here because, again, it's not really a track where you get masses of high speed as the Void runs wide out of the final corner. So I've got Peters in the M4, and that's one of the new liveries from the latest update. Again, another one that looks fantastic on the M4.
Yeah, there are some really cool looking liveries now, aren't there? For quite a lot of the cars, to be fair.
Oh, there's tons, absolutely tons. There's Peters loses it coming round there, the rear of the M4 fine enough. So let's jump on with Verheer in the Audi.
Looks like Peters has parked it, yeah. Probably won't have enough time to go back out now with only just less than 3 minutes remaining. Although, oh no, as I say that, the car drops and he is going back out.
Yeah, well, Verheer improves there.
He's just done a 360 in the pit lane. Thankfully, we didn't catch that on stream, so that didn't happen.
You know what? If you saw any of Sunday night's stream, everybody that I put the camera on had an incident. Yeah, just, let's watch this person go through the corkscrew. Okay, they didn't make it through the corkscrew. Let's go on to the next one, and then there'd be an accident. So I would imagine, I'm surprised there haven't more people message me and say, just please don't show anything of me in the race tonight as Adam comes through the chicane. Looking to improve. He is up at the moment, only just.
Just a few shout outs to people in chat. We've got a few new faces. Well, I say a few new faces, a few new people to today's chat. We've got Frodo is live on Twitch. Hello. Mr. Ampher. And we've got Mr. Parkin in chat as well. And we've got Princess JT, one of the stream regulars. Hello to you all.
Yeah, thank you for joining us for tonight's stream. Season 3 of the Rookies. I can't believe how quick this is all going. It is just... Yeah.
Yeah, what is it? 3 events left, including... Yeah.
So, yeah, there'll be 3 more rounds after this one, and then it'll be a case of looking at what we're going to do with Season 4.
Take everyone to America.
Absolutely. Have you had a go on any of the tracks yet, Dave?
No, not yet. No, I've not had time to breathe today. But yeah.
Goes into P2 with a 35.2, so strong lap there in the NSX. I've had a quick go on them. I did a few races earlier at Kota and Indy in the wet, and considering both tracks are quite curb-heavy tracks, the curbs offer absolutely zero grip in the wet, so yeah, it's interesting. And we know with Johnny and his service settings here, he loves a wet race. So
we're all screwed. Yeah.
Yeah, God help us.
Yeah, I was watching some streams earlier, just to see what they look like. I've not really done much of Circuit of the Americas, but yeah, it looks good. Did a lot of Indy in Project Cars 2. There's a slightly shorter version of it, whereas I know this one sort of, as you come around turn 3, in Project Cars 2, there's a big long straight, whereas I think in ACC you sort of turn right and then go around another sort of sweeping left corner and then come back onto that straight. So slightly different layout to what I'm used to, but I'm interested to get straight back into it.
It's, I didn't think it was going to be one that I enjoyed as much as I did once I actually got going on it. So we've got Taylor coming around the final corner. This is his final lap of qualifying. He's just spun it up a little bit on exit, but he is about to take provisional pole position, and he does with a 34.6. Just behind him, Evans is on his final lap, and he is up by 2 tenths. So at the moment, Evans could snatch pole back. He needs to nail these last couple of corners, and he looks like he's a little bit wide through there. He has lost momentum. That's going to affect him all the way down here to the final corner, but if he can nail the final corner and get the power on just at the right time, he could make the time back up. Looks good through there. He's done it. He's 4 tenths up, and that is just going up and up and up as Evans crosses the line, and he takes pole position in the silver class and current provisional pole position as the pros are about to go out on track.
Yeah, quite close there in silver, I think.
We've got a bit of carnage in front of us down at the end of the straight there, so have a couple of cars come together.
Well,
Ooh,
as the
sport
drivers
up
know, there
in there.
should be no racing during qualifying, so hopefully people have been taking that on board. Yeah, so I was just about to say in silver we've got like a couple of three groups of three that are very close. We've got Callum Evans, well, we've got C Evans, Jay Taylor, and B de Vroid at the front, with half a second between them. Then we've got Peters, Hyde, and Davies all within 2/10. And then we've got sort of Fayers on his own a little bit there. But then you've got Adam, Lewin, and Lazewski all within 2/10 again. So might be looking at little mini battles here in silver. As we've got Mr. Ampher in chat saying he's worrying about how much carnage there might be this week because the track's very narrow, as I sort of touched on earlier while I was muted. He's saying so 5 wide into turn 1 might not work well.
And if you can
I do
tell
agree
me,
with that.
if you can tell me that a track where 5 wide into turn 1 works, then I'm more than happy to hear it.
I've seen it before. Don't think it ever goes very well. So yeah, I remember seeing it at Kyle Army when that sort of opens up down the bottom of that straight. But yeah, Ben saying about Spa, he wouldn't want to go through. Yeah, he want to go start Spa 5 wide. That'd be great.
That would be interesting. It certainly wouldn't be 5 wide at the exit.
Nope. Well, it'd be like 10 wide if everyone parked from one side of the track to the other.
There is that, yeah, that seems to happen quite a lot when you jump in the open lobbies. So we have Tuck Gibson in the M4. He's about to come across the line. Looking like he's on a solid lap here. Comes across the line. And doesn't actually move anywhere. He must have been validated in the last corner. So who have we got on a lap? Someone has just crossed the line, and that is Drake Cruz in the Lamborghini. As you said, the 9-year-old sensation. I still find that incredible. 9 years old, if someone had sat me in one of these things, I would have had absolutely no idea what I was doing. And that's not to say that I do now, but...
Yeah, Drake Cruz currently sat in 3rd in the standings, so currently on the podium. Been doing really well. Got caught in a little bit of, I say trouble last week. It wasn't really trouble, just I think struggled. I think there was a lot of pit strategies last week that really seemed to work. The undercutting kind of took advantage of people there. So yeah, it was very interesting last week. But
Drake Cruz jumping over the curbs there in the Lamborghini, but still he is up on his time by almost a second.
See the old sparks coming out the back there.
Oh, and he hits that curb on the inside, taps the tyres around. I'm amazed they've lasted this long, to be fair.
Yep, true. I'm assuming they won't last one lap.
Of the race, we'll see. I mean, we've got a 45-minute race ahead of us. There is no mandatory pit stop, so it is purely fuel up and, what do they call it? Lights to flag. No stops.
That's what we need. We need someone, I don't know how to do it, to set up the voting on stream. We'd say, will the tyre wall, what's the name of that corner?
Hislops, I believe.
Hislops.
Called.
Will the tyre stack at Hislops last lap 1? And my bet is it won't.
I would say no. I'm probably going to be proved completely wrong. But I actually sometimes feel, I think it's Donington through the Foggy S's, but there's a tyre,
oh yeah,
like a set of tyres on the inside, and I actually feel better when they're not there. I feel like I can go faster through the corner because I can see how much I can cut and not get a track.
Yeah, exactly. You try and get as close to them as possible. I think you can actually get away with like going through them and still staying within the limits, just which is why they get taken out so often.
So B. Rooney has put himself up onto pole position in the Porsche with a 34.0, Dave. So they've got 4 minutes and 10 seconds to beat your prediction.
Yeah, to get themselves into the 33s. I think we could see it.
The Porsche should definitely be a good car around here.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. We've got Mercy Caller in chat asking if it's a short formation lap. I very much doubt it is, as it's a 45-minute race. So yeah, not expecting it to be a short formation lap. We want everyone to get their tyres nice and warmed up here. Don't want there to be any carnage because of cold tyres.
I hope it's not now. You've said that.
I'm expecting it to be 45-minute race, so would be surprised. Apparently Adam was having some FPS issues in quali as well, saying he was dropping down to 20 FPS.
Oh wow.
Which would have been pretty difficult to drive at.
So we've got Weeze in the Audi. He's currently just over a tenth up on his current time. Looks like we've got some competitive times from the guys in silver here to mix it with the pros.
Yes, great lap from Callum Evans. Only being just less than 3 tenths off pole at the moment.
Oof. That Audi just showing how bumpy Oulton Park is. Nearly taken off as he comes up over the crest there, and he crosses the line and does improve. Moves up to P4.
Just to interrupt, the prediction is live for the tyre stack at Hislops. Please, please vote if you can. Bet some channel points on it. Will it last lap 1?
I'm not gambling.
Oh, that's a good point.
I lost
hopefully
29,000 points last time. So
hopefully people in the race aren't listening to this and they aren't going to bet on one and then take it out. That would be cheating. But
so Tuck Gibson moves up to P4. Evans still holding on to the first 2 rows there. Someone who is improving though is Rooney in the Porsche, and I expect the Porsche to be very good around here. Great on the brakes, great on acceleration, very nimble once you can get a handle on it. And from the way his lap time is going, Dave, they are going to absolutely wipe the floor with a 34.0.
Yeah, Rooney in race 2 last week was absolutely fantastic. He took the undercut strategy really early in the race and then just put in lap after lap after lap, just going really, really fast. Ended up coming, once everyone else had pitted, he ended up coming out way in front of them, probably 5-6 seconds. So yeah, really, really good race from him last week.
He crosses the line with a 33.4. Wow.
Smashed it.
Great time in the Porsche. Absolutely great time. And that car looks planted around here. Really suited this track. Zudu, he's currently in P2.
This is the championship leader at the moment. So we've just been looking at, so Sami Zudu's in first place overall, and we've got Rooney's in second. There's 7 points between them in the standing, so very close.
Okay, so a chance for Rooney maybe to try and claw some points back with the possibly more favoured car for Oulton Park.
Yeah, I would certainly think so, yeah. Oh, Drake Cruz going into second.
Yeah, we just caught that as he went across the line, and even before turn 3, he is up by nearly 2 tenths. So Drake Cruz
turn 1, isn't it? Sometimes you just hook that turn 1 up lovely, and
if you get the exit right, you don't invalidate. And it's funny, isn't it? Because when you do it, you get a real good feeling. You know that you've had a great start to the lap, and
that's it.
You've got to carry that momentum the rest of the way through.
You gain 2 or 3 tenths in the first corner, then you think, right, all I've got to do now is last the entire lap, doing roughly the same speed as I've been doing for the last few laps, and hopefully it all hooks up nicely and you gain that time that you gained in the first corner. Did see him flashing that pink Porsche in front. I wonder whether
he was on a invalidated lap. So
makes sense.
I can understand why. He is currently nearly 4 tenths up, and this could, if he nails the final part of this lap, could put him on pole position, because Rooney is done. He will not improve any further. Drake Cruz now nearly half a second up, so he could, if he nails this final corner. This is going to be tight. Can Drake Cruz do it across the line? And he doesn't. He misses out by 7 thousandths of a second.
Wow. That is as close as it gets, really.
And that is the end of qualifying.
So currently, update on the prediction. 17% of people believe that the tyre stack will last past lap 1. 83% of people choosing that it won't. There's about 15,000 channel points bet on that it won't last. I went yes, stupidly, but we'll see.
Well, we are now, the cars are on the grid, so what we're going to do, again, when I can get this to work. Really not having a lot of luck with the computer tonight.
I think I'm going to be keeping an eye on the tyre stack through lap 1. See if anyone takes it out deliberately.
That's where you're at, is it?
So I can get the band hammer out if they do. No, it's tough, and I think particularly when you're going to have like just the early laps, all these people fighting for position at that point. Someone's bound to take it out, but we'll see. It's fairly off track. It's pretty close, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, predictions for the race, Dave. Who do we think is going to take the win overall? Your silver winner and Dan.
I'm gonna go with Rooney. I think he showed great pace in the last race last week. Really, really good, really strong. He's just shown it in qualifying now as well. Although yes, he was only 7,000ths up. He looked to be consistent. The car looked planted. I think the Lambo might struggle to keep it that quick throughout the entire race. For silver, I'm gonna go with Jay Taylor. I think I fancy his chances here. And then for AMS, I'm trying to have a look on my screen. Let's have a look through them. Obviously, Palmer Jensen Jensen's second. But he's in the lead overall. Tell you what, I'm gonna go Marcel Seema for AM because he's in the Aston, and I think it's just it's had that little bop change, and I think it's going to be planted throughout the lap here. So yeah, we'll go Rooney, Taylor, and Seema for the wins for me.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go for Drake Cruz, and then I'm going to go for Evans, and then I think I will go for Jensen in the arms.
Yep, good choice.
I think Rooney just in that Porsche is going to be good off the line. There are no pit stops, so there's not going to be any undercutting or overcutting. If he can hold it, it's a difficult place to overtake around here, really. It only happens if someone makes a mistake into or out of a corner. So, yeah, I think if Rooney can get away, he can just get into his groove and should be good.
I'm surprised to not see a pit stop this week. It's going to be tough for some of the guys towards the end of the race, trying to keep the tyre wear down, especially if they're pushing for the entire race. Maybe, I don't know if... I think we've had 45-minute races before, but there's been a pit stop, so it gives the tyres some time to cool down, or you can replace them. But like last week, it was 2 30-minute races, which you shouldn't really see any tyre wear, regardless of whether you're pushing hard or not.
No.
But in a 45-minute race, potentially towards the end, you might see a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see how that comes into play.
Well, the cars are sort of halfway around the lap now on the formation lap, or warm-up lap, whichever you want to call it.
Bit of both.
Yeah. What do you think with Drake Cruz and Zudu? So we've seen them in a couple of rounds get very, very close to each other. They seem to be sort of on par with each other on pace. At Hungary, they sort of in a good battle, weren't they? And Rooney was able to get away. Do you think that they'll have learnt from that it's not worth the battling if one is quicker than the other? Do they give up the position and just follow them around, or?
I don't know. It's tough to say. Like last week in the first race, it could have been the second race actually. These guys were side by side through. It was at Suzuka, wasn't it? They were side by side through the S's in Sector 1 and just racing hard all the way through it. And yeah, I don't know. I think they're just going to go for it. I think people are just, if you're in front, I think they're going to try and stay in front. Because if there's no pit, realistically, why not stay in front? I suppose the pressure might mount up, but yeah, I think they're just going to race hard here.
Okay, well, they are coming close to the green light. We wait for the green lights to show, and we will be under starters orders for 45 minutes of Oulton Park.
Green light. Go, go, go.
There is the green light, and it looks like Drake Cruz has had a fantastic start. He's already moving over on Rooney, so really aggressive into turn 1. Rooney holds his line. There is a bit of contact. Drake Cruz keeps it pinned.
Oh.
And it looks like
Bit of
Rooney's got
contact
away, and we've got a big accident at the back. And who have we got caught up in that? Quite a lot of people. There's people still off ahead as well. Oh, that is really tight down to there. But it looks like, so we've got Finn going back in the Mercedes. Who has been caught up in that?
So Simo's
back
Vice,
at the front. Drake Cruz has managed to get into
Bain.
P1. So what's happened there? So Rooney looking like he had it sorted into here, but kind of just backed off a bit. Drake Cruz got up the inside, and that Lamborghini is going to be difficult for the Porsche to get a run on anywhere with the speed of that.
Yeah, I expect Rooney's probably just thought, I'm just going to let him go here. We've still got 45 minutes left to go, so let's just, let's just let him go. I can just keep the pressure on, try and force him into a mistake.
We have, but as we look further down, we've got Gora. He's dropped back a few places. Someone we haven't focused on in the other Go for the Gap Circuit Superstars livery is Cami Sturch. Quite a quiet qualifying. And looks like she's got a bit of traffic in front of her here in P21 overall. Quite a lot of AMs and silvers. Was she caught up in the incident at the start? It does look like she has a bit of damage on the bonnet of that car.
Yeah, I think she must have got caught up in it. So she qualified. Oh, she started from the back.
Oh,
so
okay.
maybe
so
she didn't get involved.
made her way through really well. Okay. Well, in the other Go for the Gap car, we've got Dan Hyde. He's up to P6 overall, so he's managed to avoid all of the carnage at the start. So you see a Ferrari of Lazeski getting sideways in the background. Gora has gone off, and that's a big crash. That is a big
damage
crash.
there.
So he's coming down. Oh, he's jumped over the curb on the inside, and you will not get the car stopped. And as you can see, that has left him having to return to the pits. But also someone who's had an accident, and I'm just waiting for the replay to finish, is Adam D. So Adam D has been in the wall as well. And what's happened here?
I think it looks like he's gone wide.
Come off around there and gone straight into the tyres. So that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, it's difficult. If you go wide there, you and just get onto the grass. The amount of speed that you carry through that corner, even if you sort of stamp on the brakes, you just can't really get that car stopped going across that grass.
No, it's not easy at all. But look up at the front, Rooney having some major issues.
Oh wow!
Our pole man went to P2 at the start and is now down in P6.
I've sniped him with my prediction.
That's on you this week, Dave.
Yeah, I was just looking at.
Great Cruz, 2 seconds.
Cami having not qualified. I wonder whether that was due to a technical issue, only been able to get into the server very late, or if she couldn't get a valid lap sorted. But thankfully for her, she's managed to get piled.
Oh no, Finn has rejoined in front of Peters. And it has spooked Peters into having his very own accident. As you can see there, Peters tries to avoid him, loses the rear of the car, it starts to snap, and that is in the wall big time.
He's going to be suffering there. Oh, okay, that's not the way to go.
Not sure.
I wonder if he's going to be RTGing here. Yeah,
that's a really good choice there. Just leaving the pits as well.
Thankfully, he didn't just cut half the track out. I mean, it would have put him a lap down. The game recognises that people do that, so.
It looks like Rooney has managed to gather himself. He's now on the back of Dan Hyde, 0.3 behind. Not that I need to tell you what the gap is, you can see it on the screen.
We've got couple of yellow flags.
Drake Cruz. Oh no, sorry, my timing thing is having a bit of a glitch because Evans is in the pits. So Joe
He's
Cuse is still
just
in
set the
P1.
fastest lap of the race there. Was that?
Yeah, 34.3 with the fuel in as well, so that's a fantastic time.
Yeah, really quick. He's
Ooh,
absolutely
so we've
flying
got an
there.
Audi off.
That's Deputa. Deputa must be struggling a lot. He's currently in last position.
But at the moment, things are going well for Chris's Finn is off again in the Mercedes. So, oh no, and that's Seema with him as well.
Oh
so
no!
What has happened here? So Seema.
That's my second prediction sniped. He's lost. He drops down to third in class, Seema.
I hope this isn't from a rejoin from the Mercedes. So as we watch here, Seema. No, he lost it all on his own. Got on the grass, possibly put off by the Mercedes in the distance, going off ahead of him. But that is him back down. So that puts Cammy Sturch up to 17th. Leading the AMS now is Torn. He's just been passed by Samoas.
Yeah, so it looks like.
I think we've lost Adam D from the race.
Oh no. Wonder if that was a frame rate issue again.
Yeah, if he's having the same problems.
Yeah. How's Stevie Bain doing? Currently in 12th, 5th in class.
That's out wide in the Audi. Looks like he's had a couple of taps in that as well. There's some scuff marks on that.
Yeah, he was quite heavily involved in that Turn 1 incident. He ended up dropping quite far back. So to get up to 12th, 5th in class, not too bad.
But this should be an interesting one to watch because Dan Hyde does not give up a position easily.
Very true.
We do allow class racing, mixed class racing in the rookies, so he doesn't have to jump out of the way and give the position up. Question is, how long is he going to drive like this and lose time to the cars behind him? Because not far behind Dan Hyde is Ryan Davies. You can see him there in the Aston Martin.
You saw Hyde eat a little bit of that curb back there, which gave him a slower exit because he was sat right in front of Rooney. Rooney couldn't do anything about it.
Well, that's probably one of the benefits of how big the M4 is that
yeah,
nothing can really get around it. Rooney gets a fantastic run out of there. Oh, and Dan Hyde squeezes him onto the... That is... that's tight. It's really... Can he get the power on around the outside? He can, but Dan Hyde pushes him out onto the grass. Looks like Rooney can't get the move done just yet. Is Dan Hyde going to fight it into turn 1? He is. I think Rooney's going to get underneath him now. No, Dan Hyde parks it on the apex. That is incredibly aggressive defending and driving from Dan Hyde there.
And then cuts out a little bit there. There's a little bit of contact there.
Looks like Rooney's got around the outside though. This could be an incredible move. Oh, and Dan Hyde has hit him.
And Dan's off. That's unfortunate. Oh,
he just comes
great
back on
rejoin.
the track in front of the hair. That is Dan Hyde down to P8, and you kind of see what I mean there by had Dan Hyde just have let Rooney go. He's now gone from P2 in silver to P4.
Yeah, it's tough because Dan wants to stay ahead. Obviously, does he want to catch De Vroid up front, or does he just want to cement his position? Like, it would have been better to let Rooney go and just like slot in behind him and keep your second in class. But at the same time, he's thinking, I want to catch De Vroid here if I can get. But obviously, Rooney's faster, so it does just make sense to just let him go. But yeah,
hindsight is a wonderful thing.
Exactly, and we see a victim of someone who. It's how tight this track is. They're going through that corner side by side. There was no more track for Rooney to go on, and unfortunately they collide and Dan ends up in the wall. So really unlucky, but yeah, like you said, hindsight.
So your prediction for AM is back in the lead of the AM class. Seema has managed to get up to P1 again, so driving fantastically after his little off earlier on.
So that's Torn just behind him. Oh yeah,
yep.
Lovely. Well done, yeah. Really solid performance there. He has done quite well throughout the whole season, actually.
So, Zach Finney, current fastest lap of the race with a 34.3. Just 200ths faster than Drake Cruz. But looking good in the Porsche, as we've got Verhaer off. So that gifts Dan Hyde back another position. Verhaer's had a bit of an incident coming out of, what do you call that, turn 2 or turn 3? Because I don't really count the right kink here after turn 1 as a corner myself.
Yeah, I bet they do count it as a turn though.
What's
Seems to
happened here?
be.
He's got out wide on the bumps, he's got
wide.
on the grass on the curbs, and managed to keep it out of the wall. Fantastic effort at keeping it out of the wall and not picking up any damage there. So at least he can
Great
clean the
save.
tyres and get back on with things. Back here we've got a fantastic battle. So we've got Lewin, Lazewski, Bain and Taylor nose to tail coming through here. And what you've got here is you've got Lazewski from Lewin and Lazewski from the silver class ahead of Bain, who's pro, Taylor in silver, and a couple of seconds down the road off on the grass again you can see Mr. Finn as Bain gets the move done, and Taylor tries to follow him through and ends up with a bit of door banging with Lazewski. He will not be pleased about that. Finn manages to avoid him as he comes back onto the track. Lazewski tries to fight on and hold the position for what reason I'm not sure.
No, you're not going to block him there. You're not carrying enough speed.
As Cammy Sturch, who got back down to P20 just then, has gone up into P19. Evans did come back out of the pits. He's currently in last place and a couple of laps down as well.
So yeah, where we've seen quite a lot of crashes today. Oh,
what has happened here?
Is that another spin from Finn? Spin from Finn?
Nice.
Rhymes.
Yeah. So he's,
Is it the same corner?
So the Mercedes coming down there. He's
Really
lost
struggling.
the car, and I just don't think at any point he was in control of the car. And Lazewski has had a mare of a lap there. After being punted off towards the end of the lap, he starts the next lap by driving slap bang into the middle of a Mercedes.
Really unlucky. Yeah, Finn was in the Twitch chat and he was saying that he's really struggling with this track, and we can see that.
Bain goes right over the sausage curb there to get past Lewin, who kind of gave up the position. But what Lewin's done there is it's allowed Taylor to come through as well. So kind of if we go back to what we were saying about Dan Hyde, that is the issue when the cars are that close, is if you let a higher class car pass, then you've got a competitor right behind, they will not shy away from throwing one up the inside as well.
Yeah, totally agree, and I think that's what Dan was thinking earlier. I think if he let Rooney just go, then would he lose his second spot as well? So yeah, tough call to make in the situation. But
and Finney, this goes right up on Zudu, who looks like he's had a bit of a problem with a lapped car there, and Finney is now less than half a second behind him. Again, you can see how big the gap is, or how big the gap isn't, as they come into the chicane. Finney still holds the fastest lap of the race, so can he use that to his advantage and get past the Audi of Zudu?
yeah, Zudu seems to have had maybe a couple of issues here. He's now almost 5.5 seconds off of Drake Cruz, who seems to just be sailing away at this point.
Yeah, if we take a quick look at Drake Cruz, he's coming up over the crest there into the final couple of corners, looking really, really good in the Lamborghini around here. And I honestly I didn't think that would be an easy car to drive around here, but it looks like Drake Cruz has got it set up nicely. As you can see in the background, Finney right on the back of Zudu.
Not quite close enough for a move.
Oh, wow, the Porsche jumping over the curb on the inside. That was closer than this. We've only had 15 minutes of the race, Dave. I feel like this has been going on for a lot longer with all the action.
Absolutely crazy, yeah. So just to confirm where they are now, this is turn 2. It's called Denton's, and then they come into turn 3 now, which is Cascades.
The Porsche
So
Cascades wash out from the dirt, yeah.
these guys in Pro seem to not be having too much of it. Well, the guys at the front seem to be not having too much of an issue with cascades, but we're seeing a lot of other cars having issues there.
Oh, Zudu gets really wide there through the left-hander, and that allows Finney again to close right up. But as we mentioned earlier, Dave, passing here is. I was going to recite the old Murray Walker phrase, which was catching is one thing, passing is another. But I can't. I'll never be on that sort of level to allow myself to say anything like that.
I wonder if Zudu's struggling with understeer through that fast left-hander. Really washed out wide.
Looks really, really bad after his incidents. He's still going.
Really unlucky.
It looks like he's had another incident because Finn is a little bit further up the road. Whatever ride height Finn is running on that Mercedes, it looks like he's having some real issues coming down into turn 3. Because whenever he hits that bump, the car just wants to throw itself into a wall.
Yeah, like I said he was having trouble with this track, so he's not doing too badly. Currently 6th in class, 4th overall.
Well, someone who's having a relatively calm race is De Vroid in the silver class. He has got Rooney in the pros just behind him. Will De Vroid give the position up as Drake Cruz has just caused the yellow flag? Drake Cruz has got massive damage, so he has been caught up with a lapped car. What has happened here?
Someone spun in front, or is he?
I think someone may have lost it on the exit of turn 1. And Drake Cruz just was not able to avoid him. I really, really hope this isn't from a rejoin. It is. Oh no.
That's awful.
And that is Drake Cruz's race done. He is already down the field. It looks like the car has too much damage. I would imagine the steering is broken from that. Yeah,
absolutely.
If you look inside, you can see he's having to. He can't even get the car around the hairpin, and he's having to hold the
90
wheel
degree
sort of,
to go straight. Yeah, that's an absolute wreck.
Oh, and someone else who's had an off is Dan Hyde. And what's happened there? So Dan Hyde, he now drops down the order as well. And it looks like Drake Cruz has returned to pits with the car not being drivable. It looks like Dan Hyde's lost it on the fast left-hander, so he's behind Davies.
He's washed out.
No one around him. He's turned in and he's wide.
Yeah,
and
really washed out. Like I said, you've put your brakes on there, nothing's stopping
happens.
you.
No, that wall is, but
yeah.
Oh, that's really, really unfortunate. So in the space of a lap, or half a lap, we've lost Drake Cruz, who is in the pits. Dan Hyde, what does Dan Hyde do? Does he return to the pits and get the damage fixed? You can see the difference in pace now that the cars behind have, and he's still fighting the positions as well. There's one thing with Dan, he doesn't give up.
No, yeah.
Although there you can see he just could not stop the car. Surely he's got to come into the pits for that.
Yeah, it's going to be steering. He's probably not got a straight steering wheel, I would assume, after that. But yeah, the handling of that car is going to be completely different now. So I think we may see him come in here. Yeah, look, he's driving with like a 45-degree angle there.
Yep, so Dan comes into the pits. And you can see Drake Cruz in the pits and the BMW that caused the incident with Drake Cruz, who had just set the fastest lap of the race. So he is going to be absolutely gutted.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Up at the front, what we have missed is Finney getting past Zudu in all of that.
Oh, new overall leader. Which Drake Cruz will be slightly happy about because Zudu will be getting slightly less points. But yeah, that's really unfortunate. Hopefully the instant panel will take a look at that, and if any penalties are needed, which I'm sure there will be, they'll get that sorted.
Well, what this has done is it has put Rooney back in with a shot of an overall podium, but he is already in P3 in class. Now does De Vroid's mentality change, and it might not have a choice here as he throws one up the inside. The Lamborghini tries to hold on around the outside, but the Porsche looks like he's got the move done as the McLaren board gets absolutely sent across the track there. Rooney gets the move done into P3 overall, and the Mercedes are Finn. Well, he has spent more time in the grass than he has on track, I think.
Yeah, really struggling today. I mean, looking at it from the front, the car doesn't look too bad. It looks a bit dirty, but as far as like damage is concerned, it doesn't look that bad.
No, so the front really gets the move done on Devoy into P3 in class and overall. Ryan
Drake
Davies,
still in the pit.
he's second in class and fifth overall. So enjoying the Aston Martin after its buff, and it looks like Dan Hyde has come out in front of him with a freshly fixed and looking new M4. So hopefully he can keep it that way till the end of the race.
Looks like Palmer and Jensen's got past Torn as well. I know him and Seema were having a battle for first in AM, and now Palmer and Jensen's past Torn as well. This is the top 3 in AM fighting for the lead. Obviously, Palmer and Jensen closely followed by Torn.
Zach Finney's gone back to P4.
Oh, what's happened
What's
there?
happened there? Well, that was quite harmonious, Dave. It was. Oh, and he's lost it on the curb. Let's flick the curb around. Oh, that is not the place to be trying to rejoin. Can he get it done? He reverses out of the way. Really clever driving, which gives him the angle to get the car back on the track safely, and he is away. But does anyone want to win this race? So
It's like we were saying at the beginning. It's a really tough track. Yeah, if you're going to make a mistake, it's going to be at Oulton. So.
Okay, so as if almost to rub salt into the wound, Zudu, who now leads the race, is now coming up on Drake Cruz, who is now 2 laps down.
Just to confirm and go back to the prediction on the tyre stack, it did survive lap 1.
Oh, it did. Oh, so I'm so glad I didn't gamble.
So, anyone that gambled on yes, you are quids in.
It's kind of still there.
Yeah, it's only
just
moved,
been moved along a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So looking through the field, the only person really making moves here is Cami Sturge. She's up on the rear of Torn.
Again, I wonder if this will be a similar situation where Torn can see Palmer and Jensen in front. Oh, Cami's not giving him an option.
Yeah, it looks like Cami got the better run there, and Torn has thought better of trying to fight that. As we've seen, it's very easy there to go off, so I think that's a clever thing to do.
Do you think that's the bot update on the Aston there? Because she made that look easy.
I have heard that it's been been much quicker in a straight line, so yeah, maybe that. I mean, if they've improved the grunt of it, which was probably the Aston's biggest downfall, and its top speed is better, then are we seeing the Aston V8 come back into the mix with the top cars to use?
I think we will, yeah, for sure. It was very popular before 1.8 when it got a little bit of a nerf, and now if they've improved it again, I think people will be straight back onto it.
So, what we've got here at the front, Rooney chasing down Zudu after starting on pole. He's had quite an eventful race. He was on pole, went down to P2 after a bit of contact with Drake Cruz into turn 1 at the start. He then ended up back in P6 at one point, so he's now lapping 1.3 seconds a lap faster. He's not going to like that. Dan Zudu in front of him, but what he does need to do is clear these lap cars, and the M4 pulls over out of the way. Kuipers is going to be next.
Yeah, I was going to say Zudu is well within arm's reach here. It's only 4 seconds, but Rooney can physically see Zudu ahead, so he's going to be really pushing to chase him here.
He can. It's just going to be a case of how he gets on with the blue flag cars.
Well, once they clear, so he's got this Audi in front of him. Then it's Zudu. There's one car in front of Zudu, and then there's about a third of a lap of clear space. So it might be the next couple of laps we see him bring that gap down.
Yeah. Getting the chicane all wrong as we've got Tuck Gibson in the wall.
That was the BMW that just let them pass, wasn't it?
There, Page loses a place to Evans, who is making his way back through the field after a poor start to the race. And Cami's had enough.
Is this the curb on the left as you come out of this corner? The curb of death?
Oh, and there it is
curb on the
again,
right.
exactly the same what happened to Finney in the Porsche.
Both those curves proving lethal then.
That was just for a second, and Dan Hyde was showing the yellow flag. Oh, and he's gone off at the same corner.
Same place.
And
he's
somehow
gone slotted through the gap.
got through the gap. Unfortunately, no one was coming round.
Yeah.
Wow, that's I have seen someone take that line on the first lap of a race and wipe out half a field.
Yep.
So fortunately, halfway through the race, no
Who's
such,
that behind him? Is that Davies?
such misfortune. That is, yes.
Yeah, thankfully
So we'll be
he wasn't a
looking to
little
get
bit closer.
Dan Hyde, who is a lap down on Davies. You can see the blue flags being waved. Can Davies find a way past?
Oh, see that inside curb there.
Just while we take a look at Dan Hyde, you can see on the livery there's a couple of partners with oNiD Racing there. You've got Caden Computers, which is Dan Hyde's company. They're one of our partners, and also Go for the Gap. Check that out with Cammy Sturcher's paintings and such as well. We've also got Sim Stuff. Unfortunately, we can't see him on any of the liveries of the car because Adam isn't with us at the moment. And the last one is well, he just does a bit of everything, Ben does, doesn't he? He's media, liveries, but obviously Ben 22 Racing does some fantastic liveries for oNiD and the guys that race in it, and I do believe that the one that you see now on Ryan Davies' car is one of them. And Brian's still not past Dan Hyde, but Dan Hyde will have fresh tyres on and a fixed car, so can't expect him to have the pace.
Got a small gap there, really.
Ooh, as Finney has got back past the void, who nearly gets collected by Kuipers trying to stay out of the way. Up at the front, Zulu has pulled the gap to 5 seconds over Rooney, so I'm wondering if them little knocks earlier in the race are just affecting the car maybe a little bit as the race goes on.
Yeah, I've been watching Rooney and he keeps going wide. He's just making ever so small mistakes that aren't meaning that his laps are perfect. So, and obviously at this point, if he wants to bring that 5 seconds down, he needs to be putting in perfect laps.
And there's, and Page loses the Bentley through there.
Page thinking he's in Tokyo Drift there.
Yeah, that was nicely held.
Yeah, really good.
Normally, once that Bentley goes,
thankfully,
that's such a heavy car that you don't get it back.
Yeah, thankfully he stayed off track there as well. You could see Rooney coming down the road, so stayed well out of the way.
Oh no! And Parman Jensen has run into the back of Cammy Sturch into his lops, which has caused Cammy to take the escape road and get back past. That's an interesting way of letting someone past.
Hopefully she didn't get a track limit warning there.
It doesn't look like it.
That's good. This is Seema in front of Finn. Seema's having a really good race here.
Finn's had nothing short of an eventful race with the Mercedes trying to murder him at every possible opportunity.
Well, we've just watched him come through Cascades. I think every other lap he's managed to bin it there, so that's a step in the right direction.
And with the fuel coming out of the car, the ride height's gone up a little bit, and it's not hitting
not bumping around
one
so
particular
much.
bump anymore, no. So up at the front though, Rooney has pulled a second in on Zudu. The gap is now 4 seconds. 3.8 as he crossed the line. Can he do it? Can he close him in? He was 1.1 seconds faster that last lap and actually set a personal best of a 34.2. So is the Audi chewing up its tyres a little bit?
Yeah, quite possibly. We're getting to the half an hour mark here, or 15 minutes left. So we may see people start understeering a bit more. Yeah, just general tyre wear. I think I'm not too sure. It depends how safe people have been here, but I'm imagining that people are going to be pretty balls to the wall.
Page didn't catch that one that time in the Bentley. He is off and pirouetting himself into the wall.
Another Cascades victim. There have been so many this race.
I have a feeling after this, some of the... Oh, Sudu. Where's Sudu gone? He's missed his braking point.
Turned into a lawnmower for a couple of seconds. Rooney's
Hold on,
right
he
on the
was
back of it.
going slow out of there. So what's happened just before that? Sudu had an issue through the chicane. He's got damage.
I'll go back and have a look very quickly.
He's not near anyone else, so I can't see what's happened. But
Ah, okay. So as he's come out of that small chicane, he's hit the left curb on the way out onto that straight. He's hit it just too much, and it sort of span him. He almost went into the wall on the left-hand side, but he managed to catch it. But he came out at about 40 miles an hour, so going really slowly. So that's why Rooney quickly caught him there.
Really looks like he's struggling on the tyres as well. You can see the gap Rooney has put on him already. So pole man. So we've got... Oh no, and Finn has hit Seema. More issues for the Mercedes driver as Seema now gets himself stuck in the grass. Can he get back on the track safely? Gives the tyres another tap for good measure.
Thankfully, there's a good gap back to Palmer and Jensen, so
There
relatively
is.
safe.
So up at the front, Zulu having his issues. Can Finney close him down? Someone who is motoring their way through the field is Mr. Bain. Recently just made one of oNiD's admins. And I believe he's helping Willie Blackhammer with the GT4s.
Yes, he is, yeah. So he would have been here on Tuesday.
Sounds like I have an idea of what's going on.
He's done really well this race because to go from being involved in that Turn 1 incident to being 4th in class and 5th overall, yeah, he's done really well.
That's great. So he's coming up on Dan Hyde, who's now getting blue flags. Obviously, we saw Davies couldn't get past Dan Hyde. Bain looks to have the pace to be wanting to, you know, put the blue flag rule to use, although he makes it as difficult as possible riding over the curb there.
So yeah, I'm expecting that if Dan is blue flagged anymore, he's just going to let them go because the gap between him and Lewin in front is well over half a lap. So Dan really just sort of holding on here just to get some points.
Well, just behind. Oh, it was Ryan Davies. What has happened there? Is that coming together with Kuipers in the Audi?
Oh, he's flashing.
No, Kuipers has braked on the racing line into the corner, which has caught Ryan Davies out.
That's an interesting one. But yeah, unfortunately, seems to have not affected him too much. But oh no, he lost that
and
spot
here
to
comes
Davies.
Finn again in the Mercedes. Wow, that is. I would say Finn has definitely driven further than anyone else this race. Hopefully he's got enough fuel to get to the end.
Yeah, coming up on 10 minutes
Let's
remaining.
see how he gets on. Coming down here, so you can see. Wow, the Merc really is not looking comfortable.
He's
over
not
there.
enjoying that. No. He's having to take it really easy.
Up at the front, we have got Bain still behind Dan Hyde, and there is a fast Taylor approaching, but they're not in the same class, so Bain won't be too worried. He's not really going to lose his P4 in class, unless he makes a mammoth mistake, obviously.
So it looks like Torn has gotten past Palmer and Jensen. I've been keeping an eye on the top 3 in AM. Seamus obviously got that gap. That gap's been reduced slightly because of that incident earlier. But yeah, Torn and Palmer Jensen seems to have been going at it for quite some time now. Yeah, Torn's got on back past, so he's now 2nd in AM. Palmer Jensen's still pretty close behind him. These guys have been going at it for the entire series. Every time I look at the AM class, they're right next to each other.
Yeah, they've got the leader just behind them. So this is not going to be great for Rooney, because he's going to want to get past, and just in front of him, 2 cars are battling away with each other.
Yeah, this might give Zudu a bit of might be able to bring that gap down here.
Rooney looks for a way past, gives a flash of the lights.
He should really allow this to happen, because as soon as he gets up to Torn should do the same, and then effectively their battle hasn't really changed.
No, but that has allowed Zulu to get back under 2 seconds. Now, lap time there from Rooney, a 35.2. But even with all of that, Zulu only managed a 35.5. I really do think Zulu's got some problems with the tyres there. As we see Rooney again flashing the lights. Terrifying point to be catching a back marker down here if they decide to step on the brakes.
I wonder if he's going to let off slightly here.
It
doesn't look like it.
Nope, so Rooney is just going to have to slot in for a little bit longer. And he gets up the inside, going into the hairpin.
Yeah, fair move there. Does bring Harman Jensen slightly closer, but still a reasonable gap there. A little bit, actually, yeah, saying that, it's a little bit closer than last time, but now Rooney's got both back markers between him and Zulu.
Yeah, and Zulu's just got caught behind him going into the chicane, so I think, and I don't think he's going to get past before here either, so the worst thing is for Zulu now is Palmer Jensen is closer to Torn, so he's going to be less likely to get out of the way, as it were.
Yeah, these guys are battling. Okay, we've got a flash of the lights from Zulu. Let's see what happens here. Again, like I said, if Palmer Jensen lets Zulu go here, and then Torn does exactly the same, the battle effectively shouldn't change. At least the gap between them shouldn't change. But it seems as though they're trying to
Jensen's favour last time, didn't it? So
yeah.
Up at the front, Taylor in the Honda is really closing down on Bain. Again, is this an Audi thing? Are the Audis really chewing up the tyres? Bain seems to have sort of made his way through the field, but now, you know, he was up on the back of Dan Hyde. Oh, and you can see the car snapping on him there with the rear. So I think the Audi is really chewing up its tyres around here.
Yeah, I think so. We've only really been keeping an eye on Bain and Zulu, but we've got Faya as well.
Still
Deputa's
stuck
quite a
behind
few.
These cars in front of him. Zulu now finds himself 4 seconds down on Rooney because he can't get past. Finally, Palmer Jensen gets out of the way. Now Palmer Jensen needs to get right onto the back of Zulu. Because if Torn does let off here, which he does coming out of there, but it looks like Torn's measured that one perfectly.
Yeah, I think Zulu just got a better exit there rather than Torn letting him go. But it's worked out in both of their favour, really.
So that one's done, but Zulu now finds himself 4 seconds behind Rooney. As we go back to Taylor, this is the closest battle we have on the track at the moment, other than Torn and Harman Jensen. The NSX definitely not a car I would be looking forward to driving around here.
No, wouldn't expect it to do particularly well here, but yeah, Josh Taylor seems to be doing pretty well. Second in class. We've got De Vroid, who seems to have just completely left the silver class behind at this point. He's had a cracker of a race. I just think he's kind of gotten a little bit lucky in the fact that he's not really been involved in much, and he's just been putting in solid laps. But fair play. Well done to him.
Yeah, not been involved in much. And if we look at Drake Bruce before his incident, the Lamborghini looks like it works a lot around here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it does.
Definitely has pace.
Yeah, so De Vroid, just looking at the standings, De Vroid's currently sat in 9th. So, making a name for himself here.
Yeah, this is a huge result for him.
Yeah. Josh Taylor is in 8th, so just in front as well. They're on 21 and 16 points. Obviously, you've got the likes of Richard Wolf, who appears to not be here this week. He's up the top with 79 points, so there is quite a big gap there.
Dan Hyde late on in the race after his pit stop for damage. He's making his way back through. He's on the back of Deputa, who is really, really not having a good time around here in that Audi.
No, it looks like he's been in and been repaired because his car looks pretty clean. I looked at it earlier and it was quite badly damaged on the back, so I'm assuming he's been in the pit to repair.
Well, we have 5 minutes to go in the race. Our race leader, Rooney, say again, has had an incredibly eventful race after qualifying on pole by 7 thousandths of a second over Drake Cruz. He saw himself in P6 at one point overall, and has, well, driven fantastically to get himself back up to P1, but through the fortune of others' mistakes and situations that are out of their hands as well. If we go to Drake Cruz, looked like he had the race sort of wrapped up almost early on, but a awful rejoin has caused him to be right at the back of the field.
Yeah, really unlucky. I'll to let the stewards team have a look at that. But unfortunately, yeah, it's not going to help his finishing position here and the points that Rooney will gain over him at this point. Like I said earlier, we've got so Zudu currently first in the standings, so finishing, well, race isn't over yet, still got 4 minutes left, but currently leading, currently in second, sorry, and then you've got Rooney's in second overall, who's currently leading, and then Drake Cruz, yeah, in third. Who, to be fair, Drake Cruz is about 30 points behind Zudu in the standings, so yeah, it would have really helped him to get a first here, but really unfortunate for him.
It would, and the looks of things as Taylor has finally made his way past Bain on track. You know, you could say potentially Rooney would have got Zudu anyway, with his eyes going off on the Audi like they are. If you look at the gap now, 7 seconds.
Yeah, seems to be really struggling.
Oh, as Palman Jensen has nearly taken the front of the McLaren off.
Yeah,
That
does
is an
not look
absolute ton of damage, and he comes into the pits.
Oh, with 3 minutes left. I wonder if he can he... Okay, so I'm looking inside his car. His steering wheel is currently at over 100 degrees turned and he's driving straight. So,
yeah, I wouldn't want to do
big issues there.
Oulton Park with that.
No.
So Palman Jensen comes into the pits. Dan Hyde moves up into P16 overall. Looks like Deputa might just have the measure of the M4 driver towards the end of the race here.
So yeah, that incident from Palman Jensen will secure second for Torn, it seems. Unless something has to go seriously wrong for him to lose out to Kuipers, who's quite far behind him.
Yeah,
so that'll give Kuipers a podium.
In fairness, my predictions were looking good after the first couple of laps, but now Drake Cruz is out, Palman Jensen is out.
Yeah,
Kuipers
is your thing, I think.
Kuipers
was it Palman Jensen?
Kuipers was my pole.
Oh yeah.
In Am, but who did I go for in silver?
Evans, Callum Evans.
Well, I've had an absolute mare, Dave.
20th, yeah, overall.
So I've gone from sniping everyone on Sunday night's race to my predictions for the win in all three classes have had massive accidents.
Yeah, so if you predict me in any race, I'll just bow out.
Yeah, just can't make it. Can't make it. I'm not available that week.
Oh, I've got connection issues, I'm sorry. Can't race today.
So like sign language into the missus to pull the wire out.
Yeah, so
getting right on the back of Deputa now. So
my AM and Pro predictions have done quite well. Rooney and Seema. But Taylor, my silver, is currently in second, quite far behind. Oh no, saying that, he's not that far behind De Vroid here.
No, I'm wondering if De Vroid has just tried to get past Dan Hyde and Deputa.
Oh yeah.
So that's why all of a sudden we have a battle going on here. He should be okay. We have 36 seconds left of the race. We are going to get one more lap as our leader comes into the final corner with 30 seconds on the clock. This will be the final lap of the race.
Also, James. So I think Devoid's gone off here at some point because James Taylor's now right on the back of him. Dan Hyde and
Oh, he's gone off.
Tafusa
Yeah,
have gone past.
yes.
Yeah. Taylor's really closing that gap. He's right on the back of him now.
He is, and
One more lap to go.
they still have a lap to go. And wow, look at the
got the
power
run here.
difference to that Honda.
Wow. Oh, okay. Devoid goes. No. Last turn there. I think Taylor backed out there.
We will jump to our leader as he comes to cross the line, but we're going to stick with this one for now. This is the closest battle on track. And these guys come on to the final lap.
Well.
It looks like that NSX has got a fantastic run out of there.
Just got a new follow on Twitch, Sneaky the Queen. Thank you very much.
Oh, I forgot to do mine. There we go.
Oh, there's page in front, hopefully no issues there. Oh, there's Taputa coming back on. He must have had an issue there.
Yeah, and it looks like Taylor is all over the back. It's Bain. Bain is in the pits. What's happened to Bain? He's run out of fuel.
Do you think?
He's run out of fuel as Rooney crosses the line and takes the win. Sorry, everything just kind of happened all at once there at the end. So Rooney takes the win. Taylor right on the back of De Vroid.
Zudu just crossing the line in second. Finney's about to cross for third as well.
Can Taylor? Can he line him up? Oh, De Vroid is wide.
Are we going to see?
Does he go for it? Does he go for it?
He's defending.
He goes to the outside. De Vroid makes the car as wide as possible. Taylor looks for the cut back out of the final corner. Has he? Oh no, he spun it up just too much. What a finish to the race. De Vroid takes the win in silver from Taylor. Davies comes home in P3, and if we just jump back to Seema, our AM P1, and he has won as long as he finishes, because everyone else has been lapped and finished the race.
Following Bain after his trip into the pits. Interesting to find out what happened there. Assuming it was fuel, I guess.
Bain there is it's got to be fuel.
He's really lost out there. He's lost 1, 2, 3. He's lost 3 positions.
He's looking to try and make a move on Cammy though into the final corner. This one not over yet.
Cammy defends.
Parks the car on the apex. Got the drive in there. Meaning that Audi can't use its grunt out of the corner to get past as they cross the line, and that is the race done.
Eventful, to say the least. That was.
Well, it's Oulton Park, Dave. I mean, if you don't have an eventful race at Oulton Park, you're doing something wrong.
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah,
well that is the race done. So, provisional finishing positions. Well, I say provisional finishing positions. They are the finishing positions with the way the penalty systems work in oNiD. Typically, at the end of the race, my computer starts to work properly and I can select all the different screens. What did you think of that then, Dave? Other than eventful?
Yeah, really good. I think, yeah, like we touched on, Rooney, qualifying in pole, dropping down to 6th, having to claw his way back up to 1st, to then finish with a 10-second gap back to Zudu. Yeah, crazy stuff. Obviously, we saw quite a mix-up in Silver's De Vroid, who wasn't really... I mean, I'm just looking at where De Vroid qualified. So De Vroid qualified 3rd in class. I'm expecting he sort of dodged that early on, those early issues, and just got past and literally just disappeared, really, up until the very final couple of laps where they decided to give us some eventful racing there. James Taylor nearly taking the win in silver, but yeah, and then in the AMs, we had Seema taking that really good drive from him. We had Seema actually qualified in 4th in AM, We had a Gora in first, then Palmer Jensen, then Kuipers. And even Torn qualified fifth, and he ended up finishing second in class. So there's some really good races from some of these guys. Some of these results they'll be really happy with.
Well, we just got the highlights of the race running in the background. As Dave said, a very, very eventful race. I'm sure pretty much everyone will be glad that one is over. One person I know for sure will be Finn in that Mercedes, because that car, for a car that normally rides the bumps and the curbs so well, it's almost like the Mercedes Formula One car, isn't it? It's just sort of completely gone.
Yeah, it's gone tits up, hasn't it?
Yeah, we missed that one in the race with the M4 losing it on the start finish straight there.
Just looking at chat, Baz DeVroid says he's pretty happy with that, and so he should be. Got Mr. Ampfer. I'm not sure who that is in game, but said still finished. He said he's disappointed, but still finished P4 in class, so not too bad. Just off the podium, not too bad. Stevie B unfortunately had 1.4 litres left as he pitted just before that final lap. So
So we
yeah,
would have never made it
wouldn't have
round.
quite made it. No.
No, I had a feeling that was the case with the fuel for him. So
Apparently, DeVroid finished with 0 litres left, or it must have been 0.1 or something.
so he was fuel
So he was
saving.
been very close.
That's why Taylor caught him up so much,
Yeah, could have been, yeah.
because he was fuel saving. Okay, fair enough. Well, that makes sense.
So Mr. Ampfer's Palmer Jensen. So yeah, that crash that
Well,
affected you, you're really
I think
unlucky.
we've just seen what happened to Adam D there.
Quite a lot of cars off the track there.
Yeah, everyone really seemed to struggle going into there during the race. There was, well, I say everyone. It seemed like everyone. There was so many incidents going into there, but
yeah, Finn saying in chat was taken by that 2 or 3 times. I'm assuming he's meaning Cascades, that corner we're talking about. He said no matter what line he took, it's just the car just went on him.
interesting. I wonder if that's anything to do with the update, or I know they haven't said anything about tweaking the tracks, but
could be setup related, maybe ride height,
just
or I don't know.
seems odd that so many different cars had a problem with that corner. Who knows? Who knows what these guys do to the sim when they update things?
Yeah, at the end of the day as well, these guys technically are rookies, so we can't really be expecting them to tweak all the setups to, maximize the car's potential at certain tracks. A lot of these people are going to be just grabbing the default setups and just going for it. And
this
unfortunately,
this definitely one of the hardest tracks on the sim.
I agree. Yeah, totally.
In terms of your accuracy, your concentration, and I think it is incredibly important that you have the right setup somewhere like this.
Yeah, that's it. Just looking at the calendar for the rest, just trying to see if there's any more difficult races coming up. We've got Brands next week.
Yeah, so we've got a little run of British tracks, I believe. We've got Brands next week, and then the week after that is Silverstone.
Silverstone, yeah, which is going to be a wet race. So that's going to have its own challenges.
It is, and the week after that, the final race of the season gets absolutely no easier because it's a night race at Spa.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. Yeah.
No,
we'll struggle to see many cars during that.
Yeah,
that street might be difficult.
Other than that, this week in oNiD, a couple more things coming up. So we have round 5 of the multi-class and sprint series on main event, should I say, on Sunday. They are at Zolder. I say they are. I'm racing in that on Sunday, so I'm at Zolder. Best start practicing Zolder and forget about all the new tracks that have been released on the DLC. And then I believe Friday night we do have the Jimmer 2.4 is back.
Yep, it is at Silverstone this week.
Okay, so they're at Silverstone as well. Excellent.
Yeah, I'll be racing in that.
Obviously, the guys, I think some of the guys have got together tonight and had a little bit of a go at the Watkins Glen track that has been released, because I know there's been major excitement about that one coming.
Yeah, they've just finished a 45-minute race there. I think they had about 30 drivers on track.
Okay,
Sounded
well,
like it was going to be a good one. Yeah. I forgot.
uh,
I was just going to say, Finn in the chat saying, "I hope not too many of my moments were caught on stream." They definitely were.
yeah, they definitely were. We apologise. Okay, well, other than that, next week we have the GT4s. They will be at Barcelona next week. As Dave has already mentioned, we've got Brands Hatch for the rookies, and then next Sunday sees the sprint and main event at Zandvoort. Solder and Zandvoort back to back. Good God.
That'd be good.
I can't
I
think
don't
of
mind
anything more
Zandvoort.
fun.
I think
Oh,
I'm in the McLaren, so I think I'll struggle at Zolder, but Zandvoort should be good. Got
fingers crossed we have some great racing. I'm sure.
Mercy Caller in chat saying I need to look for these 2.4 hours. The 2.4 hour race tomorrow is being streamed live, so make sure you can get yourself tuned into that. That'd be good. Should be a good race.
It will be. So let's wrap things up. Dave, thanks ever so much as ever for joining us for the commentary of this one.
No worries. Thank you. It's been good.
What was
Look forward to the next one.
what would be your highlight of the race? Just quickly before you go, what was your outstanding moment? A positive one.
Yeah, it's got to be positive, hasn't it? Can't choose a negative moment. I've got to say the battle through the last lap between Taylor and Devoid. I really thought Taylor might have taken that, but yeah,
Devoid with
didn't
just
quite get
enough
there.
fuel
Didn't quite
to
get
hang
there.
on. But what was
Yeah,
nice was
Devoid, really did well to hold that.
was the clean racing as well. You know, pushing like that on the last lap, it's very easy to lose your head and just sling on up the inside and take both of you out. But what we'd like to
That's
see
it.
here is some real close, great racing. So, Dave, thank you as ever. Thank you for those who joined in the chat and watched the stream. I've been Jimbo Mancy. With me has been Dave. I nearly said it then, Dave. Nearly said it then.
What, drive through?
Yeah.
Wow.
See, you said it now. It's really hard to get rid of. It's like habitual.
No, I know. Yeah.
Well, thanks ever so much, Dave. It's been a pleasure as always. Enjoy your evenings, folks. Stay safe. Take care. Goodbye.